If you would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, I know. Keep coming back for you time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Ocean in between us, still I feel your heartbeat. There's something about you, baby, that makes me feel complete. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, I know. Coming back for your time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. The world is going wild when they come for you, and the river's running dry when it all falls through. Don't you worry about a thing, baby, I got you. Yeah, baby, I got you.
Definitely, I will try it on in my house.
Lisa.
You're still talking to me.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone this morning, this evening, wherever you are in the world? I hope that you are doing great. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, and let's get to it. Let me just put my banners up. Okay. Let's see who's in the chat. Hey, Wendy. Hey, Joan. Hey, Cinderella. Are you tired? Thank you for being here with us, even though you're tired. Leslie, here's some tea. Variety Wood Reporter are owned by the same company. Oh, okay. Which company is that? Who's their parent company? Who's the rat? Who's the rat behind this headline? Who's saying that people who live in houses like this are failing? Who is the rat at the Hollywood Reporter that is claiming people who live in houses like this are failing? God, when am I going to fail like this? God, when is my time? Please let it be tomorrow. I want to fail like this, please. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Gabby. Yes, Marianne. Look at how many young people Harry and Meghan are inspiring around the world. Cinderella, kick me if I fall asleep. A virtual kick for you. Oh, girl, just walked in the door and here you are. Thanks for being here. Oh my goodness. Hilarious. Yeah, Black Queen, they just can't leave our page alone. And they just make themselves look utterly ridiculous. But here's a quick update of my life in Bali, just to inspire your travels for 2024. If you're thinking of coming anywhere, definitely come to Bali. This is Nusa Penida. It's like two of the big attractions that are there. This beautiful cliff face that kind of looks like a dinosaur, or some people say that looks like a turtle and a starfish. Um, but yeah, this is one of the highlights of Nusa Penida, which is a very, very big island. So if you ever come, I generally recommend that you book a tour. And that's also another side of Nusa Penida. You can see there, I'm walking up the cliff face. By the way, if you actually ever want to go here, and the beach behind me, or in both pictures, the one that looks like a dinosaur, you actually have to walk down this very, very, very long and steep steps to get all the way to the bottom. And I think it's almost like 20 minutes to get to the bottom and then 20 minutes back up, depending on the foot traffic. And then in the other picture, when you actually get past the steps that I'm standing on, you have to lower yourself using a rope. So, but yeah, Nusa Penida in Bali is great. This is in Uluwatu in Bali. This is at Surveyor. We went out, actually, it was for an Afrobeat night. And there's some great Afrobeat nights, by the way, in Bali. So for those of you who don't like house or techno, or I don't like house or techno, there's plenty to cater to you. And I'm a piano as well. That's what I've been up to. Let's get on to the royal news. Let's start with this funny little story. So in Omid's Endgame, which I still haven't finished reading, or listening to rather, because I was listening to the audio, but Omid claimed that Edward was a little bit of a germaphobe. Oh, wait, hang on a sec. Oh, folks, I have literally just looked at my Twitter and new pictures of Meghan. Miss Anne Harriam has just posted that I've just seen this. Here are some images from a very special screening of The After, moderated by the Duchess of Sussex. It was a special, extra special to have her, and so many of my film idols watched this film. Thank you for coming, to all the guests, and Netflix for hosting. Okay, I'm gonna, okay, let's get through the podcast, and then I will get these gorgeous pictures of Meghan wearing a stunning all brown fitted suit on the guest panel with her friend Miss Anne. Okay, so sorry, that literally just saw this. This has actually been up for a couple of hours, but I just saw it. Okay, but okay, we'll get on to that in a sec. Let's read this very funny story about Edward. Let me just get the article from Celeb Bitchy. All right. So Edward shook peasants' hands at event. Take that, Omid Scobie. So in Omid Scobie's Endgame, included are many stories about the Left Behind Windsor's awkwardness in general, and their specific awkwardness at showing racial sensitivity, empathy, or humanity. One minor point is Scobie quoting a royal source who said that Prince Edward is a massive germaphobe, and that's why he rarely shakes people's hands while he's doing walkabouts or events. Now, this is actually something that people pointed out during the Queen's funeral, and the three pictures in the middle are from that time, and you can see Edward very much keeping his distance, whereas Sophie actually did shake a lot of people's hands. Heck, I think at one point she was even holding a brown baby. So it's clearly Edward that has a problem. That was not something made up out of nowhere by Scobie. There have been conversations for a while about Edward's refusal to shake hands, including right after his mother's death when he refused to shake mourners' hands on a grief walkabout. Well, the Windsors are still bizarrely showing that they're obsessed with Scobie and Endgame, because Edward was out this week and he put on a big show of shaking hands. The way the Telegraph's Victoria Award framed this, specifically with Scobie's words, is so, well, here it is. Let me read it out. Buckingham Palace releases a video of Prince Edward shaking hands with members of the public. after Omid Scobie claimed in Endgame that he famously avoids most physical contact with the great unwashed. This is a royal reporter using phrases like the great unwashed. Scobie quoted a royal source who says he's a massive germaphobe. I mean, the fact that a royal rat, Victoria Ward herself, for the Telegraph, who writes the Telegraph, is out here saying this. I think it just shows how fragile the palace is, because you go through all of this trouble, and literally they posted this on the royal family feed. The same royal family feed that can barely be bothered to post Anne and her 457 so-called working appearances a year, made sure to post a video where Edward's seen clearly shaking hands. Okay, we believe you. So the article goes on to say, it's the fact that he only shook a few hands and mostly avoided touching the people of color. This is also smoothly edited, so we don't see him obsessively using industrial grade hand sanitizer after he shook a few hands. I mean, I'm not going to shame him for being a germaphobe, of course, nobody wants to do that. But if that's the case, just own it and have your people say no handshake. Exactly. Like, being a germaphobe, like, it's an actual thing. And I would never want to make somebody feel forced to touch anyone. Like, nobody should be forced to touch anyone. But just own it, because then it just comes off as weird. And when you have royal reporters using phrases like the great unwashed, it just sounds like you hate people and you think that you're so high and mighty that you're so above even shaking people's hands. Even if Omid Scobie's book isn't selling like hotcakes, it's clear that Buckingham Palace picked up 20 copies and they're going to keep doing these kinds of stunts to push back on Endgame. Such weird people indeed. I mean, such a small irrelevant detail like that, and you went and had one of your royal rota rats post a whole tweet about it and mention Omid. Weirdo people. So pretty views. Yes, very pretty views. Even more beautiful in person. Book your ticket to Bali and come on down. Lottie said, and one of those hungry men is going to steal you. Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah. There's not much that's really gained my interest here. There's like maybe two guys that kind of I have my eye on, but yeah, there's no one that's really, yeah, no one's made me go crazy and wild since I've been here. Janita, who wants to shake Edward's hand? People barely know who he is. Well, the people who show up to these events seem to know who he is. Okay. Next thing. The obsession over Archwell's finances continues to be hilarious, especially when you consider what's going on with Kate and William's Royal Foundation. So let's get into that. I saw the Daily Fail. Yeah, they're never leaving Harry and Meghan alone until they're made to go bankrupt. That's when they'll leave Harry and Meghan alone. But they had this on their front. This is on the front page of the Daily Fail, by the way. Worrying about what a private citizen couple who make private wealth are doing with their private wealth. Even if the Archwell Foundation was struggling, what does it matter? And I think what I find more hilarious about this is they have set such an impossibly high standard for Harry and Meghan somehow, and yet the other royals are doing the bare minimum. It's like $100 million Netflix deal is not enough, and that's failing. What did you want them to get? Did you want them to get $400 million Netflix deal? Would that not be failing? This is the weirdest way to fail that I have ever seen. Anyway, they're obsessing over Archwell's money. Just plain dumb, to be honest, because anyone that understands, especially high-level philanthropy and how the money works, knows that Archwell is absolutely fine. And nobody can tell me that having 8 million plus in cash reserves is failing. But of course, it's all to distract from Kate and Williams Foundation income, which reduced by 10 million. And I didn't see one single article, like Ariel the Mermaid said. And then in 2022, they spent almost 5 million more than their income. Nothing from the British press. Curious and curiouser, especially with the interest on the Sussexes. And here is the report. So, sorry it's so small, but let me get it on my phone so that we can. Okay, so I can see that in the total in 2022, give me a sec, was 10 million. And then, so that was, yeah, total income 10 million. And then total income in 2021 was 20 million. And then expenditures, 2022, 9 million. And then expenditures in 2021, 16. Okay, the figures are they're a bit too small for me to read, but I mean, you get the idea. There's clearly something fishy going on with these numbers. And nobody seems to be picking up on this. Why? Why is no one else picking up on this? Also, how and where these funds come from is something else I'd like to know. Discontinued operations in 2021 relates to the Duke of Sussex's HeadFit program. Okay, I think I actually have to look at this in a little bit more detail and maybe go through it in more detail tomorrow because there's a lot of figures, and I don't want to overlook anything. But definitely questions that need to be asked about the Royal Foundation's money. And I'd like to actually know in the long term, did the Earthflop prize winners, did they get all of their money? Because I think it's being given over a certain number of years. Joe Garcia, if Harry and Meghan had $1 billion in art, well, the Hayes would still say that's not enough. Their pettiness is astounding. Yeah, exactly. Leslie, Omid will be live at 7 p.m. on Meredith Constance's YouTube channel. You can submit questions. Okay. Even better still, Omid can come on my channel. I'm sure that would be great, but better still, Omid can come on my channel. The door's always open. Okay. Yeah, let me go on to this Hollywood Reporter article because clearly there's someone salty over at the Hollywood. Yeah, I'll get because I didn't really have a moment to look at those figures in detail. We'll go through them properly tomorrow because I feel like there's a little bit that I'm overlooking and I don't want to do that. So we'll carry that on to tomorrow. Okay, let's move on to this Hollywood Reporter article. Okay, a lot of publications are already running their best and worst year listicles, which I think is too early. The year-end listicle should go up around Christmas, and no, I will not explain. The Hollywood Reporter released its biggest Hollywood winners and losers several days ago, but it's only getting picked up now by the British media. Guess why? The listicle reporter, James Hibbert, included the Duke and Duchess of Sussex as one of its losers of the year. The winners are Taylor Swift, Greta Gerwig, that's the director of the Barbie movie, the Vegas Spear, Margot Robbie, Jenny Ortega, and Silver Foxes. Losers included Bob Iger and Disney, AI, Yellowstone, the Scream franchise, Marvel, Twitter, and the Sussexes. And here's Hollywood Reporter's blurb about the Sussexes. In 2020, the royal duo fled a life of ceremonial public service to cash in their celebrity status in the States. But after a whiny Netflix documentary, seriously, a whiny biography, Spare, which was the biggest selling biography of the year, by the way, biggest selling nonfiction book, a podcast, Harry and Meghan brand swelled into a sanctimonious bubble, just begging to be pooped. And South Park was the pin. The show's 20-minute worldwide privacy tour takedown in March was savage. and was followed by Spotify dropping Archetypes. That's not what happened. To me, it seemed like Archetypes dropped Spotify, and the South Park episode was just a drop in the ocean, like a big hoo-ha that lasted 5 minutes and nobody cared afterwards. With a top executive labeling the duo grifters, the top executive whose company is failing and making cuts and losing money. Still, all the scorn and mockery beats otherwise having to attend 200 plus official royal family engagements a year, which sounds hellish. Exactly. So I don't see where the loss is here. So Kaiser goes on to say, the Netflix documentary came out in 2022, as did Archetypes. Both were very successful. Exactly. The one big thing on the Sussex's plate this year was Harry's memoir, which was a bestseller and one of the biggest publishing success stories of the year. I actually agree with the Spotify Bill Simmons thing was awful. The Sussexes completely mishandled it from a PR communications perspective, and this is further evidence of that. But it's being included in the worst of the year list. What should have been a larger story about Spotify's business model changing became solely about the Sussexes. Exactly. The fact that the Sussexes didn't push back and let Bill Simmons' grifter remarks sit out there unchallenged is a big mistake they made this year. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I don't. If you are, I just think that you should not bark at cockroaches. And in the I think in the end, the fact that Harry and Meghan said nothing about what Bill Simmons, because who the hell is Bill Simmons? Who is he? Did we even know who he was before he had Harry and Meghan in his mouth? So I have to disagree with Kaiser there. I don't think that Harry and Meghan needed to hit back at Bill Simmons, because Spotify is about 2 waves and an iceberg from going under, and he's the one that's going to end up looking like an idiot. Over in the UK, they are looking for a new propaganda mouthpiece over at the BBC. BBC is going to start searching for its first royal editor amid soaring audience interest in the monarchy. I hope they know that the interest is probably more to do with the drama than any propaganda that they want to push out there. Yes, please give us all the tea and the drama. That's what we want. We don't want to know nothing about Queen Camilla other than what she's doing behind the scenes to take over the crown. Give us that, please. So BBC is gearing up to hire its first royal editor, with potential candidates emerging as the broadcaster looks to capitalise on soaring audience interest in the British monarchy. Is there soaring interest in the British monarchy? I think there's a lot of interest in Harry and Meghan, even from their haters. I think there's a lot of interest about whether or not, William really is running through the rose bushes. I think there's interest there. I don't see that the interest is anywhere else or about anything else. BBC News has traditionally appointed royal correspondents, but the corporation has decided to elevate the roles after Nicholas Witchell, a 25 veteran of the beat, announced he will retire in 2024. Thank goodness. Bye, Nicholas. Absolute toxic individual. Insiders believe that it will be the first time in the corporation's history it has installed a royal editor. The BBC's official historian, Jean Seaton, was unaware of the broadcasters previously having the position. Recruitment is expected to begin early next year, with the chosen candidate taking their place alongside household names Chris Mason and Jeremy Bowen. Speculation is already mounting over who may land the post. Front runners include Royal Nika, a royal rat liar, Chris Ship, who was going to stop reporting on Harry and Meghan last Wednesday, 200 Wednesdays ago. And also these rather interesting looking individuals, Johnny Diamond, Rihanna Mills, who is, I think she's on Sky News. She's the one that was getting in Harry's face at the South Africa tour, and also Daniela Ralph. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of angle they take, because the BBC is a propaganda network. I don't see, even though the interest is more in what's really going on with the royals, it'll be interesting to see if they take that angle or they just stick to the propaganda. The BBC editors have special responsibilities to contextualize news and bring unique analysis to developments. They are among BBC's best paid journalists, with Bowen earning as much as £235,000 last year. So this is a very big post, a lot of money. And whoever gets chosen, I mean, there must be a huge battle behind the scenes. He goes on to say, a BBC insider added that the broadcaster is sniffy about gossip stuff. Oh, please. Please. That often drives audience interest, meaning the editor will have to bring additional insight to rumbling rows, including Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's strained relations with the other senior royals. I'm gonna bet my entire life savings right now that 80% of it is gonna be what Harry and Meghan are doing. Harry and Meghan are no longer working. They shouldn't even be covering Harry and Meghan still, because they're no longer working royals. But they have to because they're the ones that everybody's interested in. Who do I think is going to get chosen? I think it's going to be between Roy Anika and Chris Ship. But I mean, Chris Ship, he's of ITV. Rhiannon, you know, I would say between Roy Anika, Rhiannon, and Chris Ship. Granted, Rhiannon has international, I think more international experience than the other two. Whoever it is, they're definitely going to be a palace mouthpiece. All right, I'll go to a comment. Please remember to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, please. Let me just I forgot to post my buy me a coffee link. Thank you to the person who bought me five coffees yesterday. That was very generous. You didn't put your name. Much appreciated. Give me one sec, folks. I love how the BBC want to behave as if they're above the gossip. Bish, please. Benjamin, I wouldn't be surprised if Omer came on your show. I messaged him and he hasn't messaged back, so yeah, it's fine. The door's always open if he wants to come on. Yeah, exactly. And the Invictus Games. Like, what the hell? And the Invictus Games. Like, what are you talking about? They're failing. There's a deranger that works at the Hollywood Reporter. Hey, Caddy V, thanks for joining us. Thank you so much to the mod squad. You're amazing. Mumbi, his interview with Salon really sheds light as to why the Rota keep bringing up non-stories about his book. Yeah, and also he did a really good interview with Elle as well. Yeah, Winter Loman. BBC is pretty much on the level of the tabloids now. A lot of their headlines now are very, very clickbait. Rochelle, what are Endgame's sales numbers? I actually don't know. I don't know. I have to look into that. But all of the panic from the palace is just helping it to sell more. Thank you so much to Matthews for the super sticker, and thank you so much to Caddy V for the super sticker. Very much appreciated. All right, this story about William that came up in the Express. William now has a drastic 5-point plan, apparently, to modernize the firm that would horrify the Queen. I mean, William, this man really likes to keep himself busy. Aside from running through the rose bushes, you know, ending peace in the Middle East, ending homelessness, saving the whole planet from environmental damage, and now he has a 5-point plan to modernize the firm that would horrify the late Queen, according to the Express. So, Prince William has drastic plans for modernizing the monarchy once he takes over from his father, King Charles. So I mean, if Charles actually has good health, he's going to be around for at least 20 years, unless William's planning on slipping something in the royal tea. So why are you planning already? An extremely placed source has revealed the heir to the throne is already working on a 5-point plan that would mean an even slimmer monarchy with fewer royal engagements and patronages, less formality and frugality in mind, and wave goodbye to the Queen's beloved Commonwealth. The slimmed down monarchy that was already slimmed down, we're down 2 major working royals, well 3 because the Queen's gone. A bunch of minor royals are also doing less engagements. How much more slim can this monarchy become? And this so-called slimmed down monarchy is going to take less money? Because I promise you, we care less about the amount of engagements that you do and more about the amount that it's costing us. There is a reluctance there from both William and Kate to join the tour of the Commonwealth because they feel it's an outdated institution, not something that they want to head. Thank you for finally admitting that the Commonwealth is indeed an institution. Not what they try to paint it as some collaborative family where the former colonies have friendship and benefits. Thank you for finally admitting that it is indeed an institution. We finally got there. And I can imagine that Kate and William no longer want to roll around in colonizer cosplay in jeeps because of how embarrassing it was last time and how they were completely and utterly just thrashed from every side of the media for daring to engage in such old-fashioned buffoonery. If the people of the Commonwealth as a whole were still bowing down and still liked the idea of Commonwealth, they would still continue with it. Best believe they would. They just don't want the embarrassing situations they had when they went on the Caribbean tour. That's why. Otherwise, they would very happily roll around in colonizer cosplay in jeeps in Jamaica. They'd happily do that again. They'd happily go scuba diving in the Caribbean after a pandemic where the whole country was shut down and nobody could go on holiday. And even after the pandemic, nobody could afford to go on holiday. And there were Kate and William scuba diving in the Caribbean, having a grand old time on the taxpayers' pennies. They would happily continue to do that if it weren't for the fact that they were completely embarrassed last time. Goes on to say, Prince William ended a disastrous tour of the Caribbean last year by suggesting he does not mind if he is not head of the Commonwealth and that he believes it may one day be led by someone other than a member of the royal family. What, so like what we have with the EU? I say just scrap the Commonwealth entirely and the former colonies can form some kind of, I don't know, united organization that has nothing to do with the British monarchy. Sounds like a grand idea. Once William and Kate become king and queen, everything will look very different, said the source. The wider family will be reduced to almost nothing, and the royal family will become the main focus. Are they sure they want that? Are they sure they want to be the main focus? Because the focus is shifting more and more to them as it is. And things aren't looking very pretty. I think they're only realizing the level to which they have been able to use others, namely Harry and Meghan, as a shield for their buffoonery. So be careful what you wish for, because if you want all of the attention, we will give it to you. Goes on to say, when William does eventually become king, the source reveals that he will not be crowned amid pomp and ceremony like his father was earlier this year. Instead, he will begin his reign with frugality in mind. I mean, they told us that Charles's coronation was going to be frugal, and it was anything but. William is already planning for when he becomes king, and he doesn't see a future for the Sussexes and the royal family. I don't think the Sussexes see a future for themselves and the royal family either. They left 3 years ago. The focus will very much be on the Wells family, and a reduced number of royal patronages and engagements will reflect that. Once the king goes, it will be out with the old and in with the new, rather swiftly. I mean, this is how they talk about their own family members. Out with the old, in with the new. Very weird family indeed. It's going to be interesting, folks, in 20 years to see where the United Kingdom is. And And I hope that William, if he's already planning it, is thinking about doing something frugal. Like literally just go to the town hall and give yourself a nice little certificate. I am king. Don't even bring out the crowns. In fact, that would be a good opportunity. Heck, you could do it tomorrow to give India its diamond back. Don't be doing all of this nonsense with the crowns and the, oh my God, and the fur and the velvet. I mean, looking like a whole Royal Adidas collection collaboration that went wrong. And with that, I am done. Thank you as always, folks. Please do hit that thumbs up button and subscribe on your way out. Thank you so much, Elaine Parker, for being a member for 20 months. You are amazing. Right, let's get through your comments and then we will wrap things up. Benjamin, you said, wait, slim down and get more money. It sounds like they want less people digging into the pie. Make it make sense, somebody. I mean, they can't even come up with anything impactful and be consistent right now as it is. So what 5-point plan is William talking about? I mean, Earth Flop just came and went and nobody even knew. You got Harry and Meghan fan sites and YouTubes getting more views than the Earth Flop YouTube. William had a whole live, and I think at the height of it, there was only like 200 people. There's 800 people in my live right now. Okay, I will end things there. Thank you, folks. Thank you again for 36,000 subscribers. What an incredible way to end the year. So grateful for this community and your generosity and your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.
If you would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for your time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. Ocean in between us, still I feel your heartbeat. There's something about you, baby, that makes me feel complete. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for your time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to